Yochanan, chapter 11. Now there was one man in the village of Bethana who was sick, Lazar, the brother of Maryam and Martha. Now this Maryam was who had anointed the feet of Yeshua with perfume and wiped them with her hair, was the sister of this one. And Lazar, who was sick, sent both of his sisters to Yeshua and said, Our master, behold, he whom you love is sick. But Yeshua said, The sickness is not deadly, but for the sake of the glory of Elohim, that the Son of Elohim might be glorified because of him. Now Yeshua had loved Martha and Maryam and Lazar, and when he heard that he was sick, he remained in the place that he was 2 days. And afterwards he said to his disciples, Come, let us go again to Yehuda. His disciples said to him, Our master, the Yehudans were seeking to stone you, and you go there again now? And Yeshua said to them, Are there not 12 hours in the day? And if a man walks during the daylight, he will not stumble because he sees the light of this world. But if a man should walk during the night, he will stumble because there is no flame in him. Yeshua said these things and afterwards said to them, Our friend Lazar sleeps, but I will go to wake him. And his disciples said to him, Our master, if he sleeps, will he be whole? Now Yeshua spoke concerning his death, and they thought he spoke of drowsiness, sleep. And Yeshua said to them plainly, Lazar has died, and I rejoice that I was not there because of you, that you may believe. But let us walk to there. Tuma, who would be called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, Let us go also and die with him. And Yeshua came to Bethana and found him to be in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethana was on the side of Jerusalem, being separated from it by about 15 furlongs. And many of the Yehudans were coming to Martha and Maryam to comfort their hearts because of their brother. And Martha, when she had heard that Yeshua had come, went out to meet him. But Maryam had sat in the house. And Martha had said to Yeshua, My master, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that however much you ask of Elohim, he will give to you. And Yeshua said to her, Your brother will arise. And Martha said to him, I know that he will rise in the resurrection on the last day. And Yeshua said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes yet in me will never die. Do you believe this? And she said to him, Yes, my master, I believe that you are the Mashiach, the son of Elohim, who has come into the world. And when she had said these things, she went and called her sister Maryam, and secretly said to her, Our master has come, and he is calling for you. And when Maryam had heard, she arose and came quickly to him. And Yeshua had not yet come into the village yet, but he was in the place where Martha had met him. And also those Yehudans who were with her in the house, who were comforting her, when they saw Maryam, that she arose quickly and went out, they followed her, for they thought that she was going to the grave to weep. But when Maryam came to where Yeshua was, she saw him and fell down at his feet and said to him, If only you had been here, my master, my brother would not have died. And Yeshua, when he saw her weeping, and the Yehudans, those who had come with her who were weeping, he groaned in his spirit and was moved in his soul. And he said, Where have you laid him? And they said to him, Come and see. And the tears of Yeshua were coming. And the Yehudans were saying, See how much he did love him. And some of them said, Was not this man able that he opened the eyes of that blind man? Couldn't he have done something also that this man might not have died? And Yeshua, while he groaned within himself, came to them to the tomb. And that tomb was a cave, and a stone was placed upon its entrance. And Yeshua said, Take the stone away. And Martha, the sister of that dead man, said to him, "My master, it's the 4th day. He stinks already." And Yeshua said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of Elohim?" And they took away the stone, and Yeshua lifted up his eyes upwards and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me, and I know that you always hear me. But because of this crowd that stands here, I say these things that they might believe that you have sent me." And when he said these things, he cried out in a loud voice, "Lazar, come forth!" And the dead man came out, while his hands and his feet were bound in bandages, and his face bound in a headcloth. And Yeshua said to them, "Untie him and allow him to go." And many of the Yehudans who had come to Maryam, when they saw the thing that Yeshua did, they believed in him. And some of them went to the Pharisees and told them the thing that Yeshua did. And the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered and were saying, "What will we do? For this man does many miracles. And if we allow him to do thus, all men will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away our land and our nation." Now one of them, whose name was Caiaphas, the high priest in that year, he said to them, "You do not know anything." And you do not realize that it is better that one man should die for us, for the sake of the nation, than all the nation should perish. And this he did not say from his own will, because he was the high priest in that year. He prophesied that Yeshua was about to die for the sake of the nation. And not only the sake of the nation, but that also the sons of Elohim who are scattered, that he might gather into one nation. And from that day they decided to kill him. But Yeshua would not walk openly among the Yehudans, but he went from there to a country that was near to the wilderness, to a fortress which is called Apram, and there he would remain with his disciples. Now the Pesach of the Yehudans was approaching, and many went up to the villages of Jerusalem before the feast, that they might purify themselves. And they were seeking Yeshua, and in the temple they were saying to one another, "Do you think that he will not come to the feast?" But the chief priests and the Pharisees had commanded that if anyone should know where, he should show it to them, so that they might seize him.